Test, test, test. Test, test, test.
It is 6 o'clock. We're on the second floor of City Hall for a common council meeting. Agenda's been posted, media's been notified. Clerk, please take the roll call.
David Holt.
Here.
Stephen Jopek.
Here.
Luke Kramer. Here. Carrie Michalowski.
Here.
Gerald Anderson. Thomas Barnett.
Here.
Bob Luter.
Here.
Leanne Felton.
Here.
Chris Hannes.
Here. So we have 7 out of 8, which makes a quorum. Please stand for the pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Oh, no problem. Moving on to number 4, which is public comment. I have Brandon Caraba.
Evening, everybody. Yes, Brandon Caraba, and I apologize for my casual attire. I just got done coaching my daughter's softball team over at Pioneer Park, so apologize. Just a quick couple of things. First, the update on Hodig Park and the splash pad. We've had some really good conversations, really good momentum still rolling along. Kurt Johnson from Public Works and everybody that he needs us to talk with, commercial recreational specialists, spoke with them. Everything that the state has changed with splash pads and all of that fun stuff has been cleared. And so we are 100% go with our type of splash pad. All the changes that happen at the state level does not incorporate the type of splash pad we're putting in, which is called the flow through. The flow through means that we're not reusing that water. And so the next step, which we have taken, is that application with the DNR to confirm that we can put the water out to the lake. The conversations with the DNR are, again, very, very positive, and so they're going to get back to us with any type of questions. So from those two standpoints, everything is rolling along really well. It's fun getting letters in the mail saying we want to donate instead of me having to go and make some meetings, but it's been a lot of fun getting those letters from the public and the community and stuff. So real quick, it's later on in your agenda, the short-term housing ordinance piece. I handed out everyone a packet of information. This same packet was given to the Planning Commission to get a chance to read through, and there's a little bit there. The first page is simply all the cups that were approved by the Planning Commission, and then the following pieces are Vilas County, the town of Minocqua with their very hefty ordinance on short-term housing, and then Oneida counties. And so the reason I've included those is the Planning Commission is going to be digesting. I guess the mayor and everybody that was there can make comment to that. But the purpose of me, again, just kind of bringing up to all of you, is that Minocqua started their ordinance in 2017. Robin, the town clerk, has been very gracious with her time with helping me just kind of get this information together, and she said she's an open book. If at any point, if it's the Planning Commission or the City Council wants to have a meeting or a discussion of why they created their ordinances, the reasons why behind every single one. I mean, all their cups have to come up for renewal once a year. The 7 days with anywhere zoned R1. They get very, very in depth with even someone that has a cup. Their resident agent or property manager that has it has to be within 15 minutes of the property. So it's very intense. And so I understand that the city of Rhinelander, it'd be good to look at either adopting those and then of course amend, or maybe not adopt at all, but look at pieces that would fit our community the best. So again, this is something that applications are going to keep coming in. This is a precedent that's been set by town of Minocqua. Oneida County then adopted theirs, and there's no reason for us to reinvent the wheel. I mean, things are going well with that, and so I would just like to emphasize that'd be great to keep it uniform across the Northwoods, because again, we all look out for each other, and so we want to try to be the best community that we can be. So, thank you.
Thank you. And then Austin, if you want to make a note that Mr. Anderson arrived at 6:02 p.m. Okay, I have a Dale Schlevy.
Hi, my name is Dale Schlevy. I'm chairman of the Rhinelander 4th of July Parade. Does everybody have, oh, okay. So, I guess I always want to thank the police department and the fire department for the public safety and the public works that do so much for the 4th of July Parade and don't get enough thanks. The parade's been going on, we've been running it for close to 40 years, but I know it's been going on for quite a few years before that, just looking at the old papers and well, the bells of St. Mary's and things of that nature. We are going to do the new route, right, Chief, this year? Yeah. In the paper, not sure where it came from, but it was the old route, but it is going to be the new route. I guess since you've seen the request, is there any questions for the request or concerns for the request?
Yeah, at this point, it's technically just public comment, so they can't interact with a dialogue,
Oh.
so.
Oh, okay. I can read it, or,
Well, I suppose when we get to that point, if one of the older people or myself yield time to you, with questions, we could do that too,
okay.
so.
Otherwise, I'll just touch on a few things. The downtown will be, there will be some detours, but 4th of July, people expect that. And like I say, the police department and fire departments work on the barricading, and the public works do clean up the parade afterwards. It does bring business to town. In fact, today I got a call from a guy. He says he makes sure that they're from out of town to make sure they come to the Rhinelander 4th of July parade. We have anywhere from 100 units. The funding, it's a solid organization with basically a zero balance at the end of the year. We do donate anything above and beyond what I get from donations from businesses and entry fees to the fireworks. So that ranges anywhere from $200 to $500. So we try not to have a balance from year to year, but if a band does not show up, then we do reserve that monies for the following year. As far as the resorts, yeah, it seems like people like the 4th of July in Rhinelander. So.
Thank you. I have Jerry Fitzgerald.
On the tourist rooming house short-term rental matter to be coming up later, last January I presented a packet of materials with some recommendations for points to investigate and address with deficiencies in the city's ordinances. There are a number of inconsistencies with state statutes. Basically, as Brandon had mentioned during his appeal, and I'll reiterate as it was in my packet, through development of whatever is coming out of the litigation and negotiations here, we must make sure that we don't exceed our abilities to enforce what we enact. So we have to make sure, because it's a very complicated issue, the more I dug into it, there are a lot of intertwined state, both administrative codes and statutes that relate. Also, too, if anybody does not have a copy of what I handed out, if you need one, I can reassemble the materials I have fairly quickly. So I don't know if new members of the council need them. Otherwise, I'll just be standing here with a big question mark caption over my head. It won't make a lot of sense. The agenda calls for specifically looking at the tourist rooming house, part of our provisions. I think we also need to look at, in that same title, Pren 13, which relates to bed and breakfasts. Even on the city's planning commission website, there's an info link citing the tourist rooming house ordinance, and then that specifically says that it does not include rooming houses. Yet slightly down is a link to rooming houses. So those are the kinds of discrepancies that we really need to look at cleaning up. Otherwise, the ambiguities, I think, will catch up with us in the long run. So there is more to it than just the primary part of what to do with fewer than 7-day rentals. There are other provisions that the statute allows for, such as limiting rental periods to 180 days during a 365-day period. Is that a can of worms we would even want to open? how would we address that if it was appropriate. But there also is a very fine line between conditional uses and ordinances. There was one case that I cited, the state justices' decisions are pretty much unanimous and very clear in what is expected in the relationship between conditional uses and uses permitted by right ordinances. So we have to make sure we maintain that balance, not infringe on anybody's rights to land use. I stand ready at anybody's request here to provide any more materials that I have or to help with some research. I'm certainly not an attorney, so Steve, hello. Then I think together between the council here and the Plan Commission, we could really work on something that's workable like other communities have. Thank you.
Thank you. Was there anyone else for public comment? Did any of the alders have any public comment? Okay. Moving on to number 5, mayor's comments, none apply at this meeting. Number 6, public hearing, none apply. Number 7, presentations on street projects by Mark Barden.
Well, this summer's going much better than last year ended. So you probably noticed there's been a lot of progress on Courtney. So for the Oneida project, what's going on is we have the roads that were done last year. We did a punch list walkthrough. There's some concrete repairs that need to be done, asphalt repairs that need to be done, and some restoration. That'll all be happening in the next couple of weeks. The work that you've been seeing going on most aggressively is on Courtney between Pelham and Lincoln. To date, the contractor has the water main crossings in crossing Courtney on Blackburn and Courtney. You're going to see that in the pay request that is on a further agenda item. That water main is in, all the storm sewer is in. On the pay request that's on the agenda, you will see the water main, some of the storm sewer, and some removals and odds and ends. What's happened since the 26th at the end of that pay request submittal was they did the excavation of the road. The road's being built. Curb is starting to be poured today. They'll finish up curb tomorrow. This week they'll be putting in the sidewalks on Courtney. And then we're looking at next week some final grading on the roadway, and we'll be paving at the end of May. I say this all weather depending, but that is the current schedule, and they're on pace to hit that. When Courtney's done, we have to do the intersection of Barnes and Oneida. We left off there last year. You'll see where our project left off last year, just south of the Holiday Inn, is about 100 feet from where the mill and overlay left off in 2018. What we're going to do is fill that gap in there. So there's some curb to be replaced in there, some sidewalk to be replaced. Once Courtney is open, traffic's open, we're going to shut down that intersection for 2-3 days. They're going to peel off the asphalt and repave that. At that point, everything else will be paved, and they'll have the pavement done, restoration done, and all the pavement marking in. I anticipate the bulk of all this work will be done end of May, early June. And then Oneida will be wrapped up. Timber Drive, we have some sewer repair. We have a major repair to do at the intersection of Timber and Timber Heights. That'll be happening end of May, early June. That one is dependent on the Grant Street addition of Oneida. You'll also see that on the pay request. There is additional funding left over from rural development for the Oneida Street project. And we've talked to rural development about adding another block of work, and that's Grant Street between Oneida and Barnes. So we have that on the agenda for council's approval. But when the contractor comes in to do Grant Street, they're also going to finish up the repair on Timber Drive. So we're anticipating if we can get approvals through council and rural development, that would be happening in probably late May, early June as well. We also have the asphalt repairs to do on Timber Drive. That is getting marked out. We're going to do some cores, see what's going on out there. Those repairs I would anticipate happening next 3 to 4 weeks. And then we'll be doing the final paving and pavement marking probably end of June into July on timber, and timber will be wrapped up. And Phillip Street, the final lift of asphalt went on Phillip Street on Friday, so that one's all wrapped up. So you'll be seeing a final pay request coming next month for that one. Any questions? Thank you.
Nope, thank you. Number 8, proclamations, none apply for this meeting. Number 9, so you see on your consent agenda currently A, B, C, D. Is there anything anyone would like to remove from the consent agenda?
I don't necessarily think it'd be that we have to remove it. But I do think reading out the list of mayoral appointments, boards and commissions, just for the record and the audience, is a good thing. But I don't have a problem with it.
So I'm just looking for it in the packet, but these are all be reappointments of people who are currently serving on. So we got Board of Review, reappointing Bill Freudenberg, Planning Commission, reappointing Jennifer Bonadelli, Zoning Board of Appeals would be Jennifer Allen, Rhinelander Public Art Commission would be Jennifer Bonadelli and Virginia Roberts. Rhinelander Housing Commission would be Mary Ticknor, which is page 12 in your packet. So, anything anyone would like to remove, though, from the consent agenda? Okay, not seeing, then what kind of action would you like to take?
Holt, I'll make a motion to approve the consent agenda as presented.
Jopak, second.
Motion second. Any discussion on the motion? Not seeing. Clerk, please take the roll call.
Thomas Barnett.
Aye.
Leanne Felton.
Aye.
Carrie Mikulowski.
Aye.
Bob Luter.
Aye.
Gerald Anderson. David Holt.
Aye.
Luke Kramer.
Aye.
Stephen Jopak.
Aye.
Motion passes. Moving on to 10A. It says 2A, technically, ordinances. So this would be first and or second reading, which should be introduction of the first reading proposed ordinance number 2024-2, which is regarding Hodag Park boat landing fees. That was a handout I refer to our city administrator.
Yeah, we, Councilmember Anderson and I came in and talked about it, and there was just a couple of things that were grammatically incorrect. One of them that still escaped was up at the top. It's a Scribner error. It says regulating open records. That can be taken off. Sorry, that one's still on there. But other than that, that's about it. This is basically something that the city clerk had notified me of, that there was an issue where we are collecting boat landing fees at Hodag Park and at Pelican. The problem is our ordinance only says Hodag. So this just straightens that up and clears it up.
Mr. Anderson?
I move adoption of ordinance 2024-2
Okay, is there
and waiving of a second reading with the deletion of the words regulating open records at the top.
Holt, second.
okay, motion and second, and Mr. Barnett?
I read through this just while we were sitting here one last time just to make sure I'm seeing everything. And unless I'm totally missing it, which is possible, I have an eye exam on Wednesday, I don't see where the actual dollar amount is of the fee. I think that should be on there. I see the penalty costs,
Yeah, it's part of our fee schedule that council approves,
but shouldn't it be on? No?
because you don't want to have to change the ordinance every time a fee changes,
Yeah.
from the cost point of view.
My other question would be possibly for Wendy. I would love to know how much these fees actually bring in. Is it significant? Does it make a difference?
So I apologize, I don't have that number memorized.
I
but
didn't think you would.
the boat landing fees go into the boat launch fund, so it's easy to look up.
Okay.
And I could send an email to you, to
Yeah,
everybody,
I'd
with what that
appreciate
is.
that. And the reason I ask is because if it's not a significant amount, I would say more than half the people who use these boat launches are locals. And, I mean, we're already raising prices, necessary, absolutely 100% necessary, but, you know, if we're just nickel and diming these boat launches and it's not really bringing money in that's making a difference to anything, then I wouldn't be for this at all.
Well, I do caution, we do have increased expenditures with the new docks that we have that are put in and taken out. We're paying professional services, so this is going to help offset that. So I really discourage you from cutting any revenue source that's being utilized, and that they are definitely being utilized.
So the money collected from the boat launches, that goes to maintaining the docks and
Yes.
all that? Okay. All right, thank you.
Any other discussion? Not seeing, clerk, please take the roll call. We did. Yeah, it was Mr. Anderson and Mr. Holt was the second.
Carrie Mikulowski.
Aye.
David Holt.
Aye.
Luke Kramer.
Aye.
Stephen Jopek.
Aye.
Gerald Anderson.
Aye.
Thomas Barnett.
Aye.
Leanne Felton.
Aye.
Bob Luter.
Aye.
Motion passes. Okay, going on to 10B, which is a first and/or second reading of ordinance 2024-3, which is regarding amending official zoning map for the city of Rhinelander. I will refer to our city administrator.
Sure, this has been recommended by Planning Commission. They discussed it at their Tuesday meeting there. This is based on the properties. You got a map in your packet here. Mr. Bob Odie requested that these be joined together. So basically, it's a housekeeping issue more than anything else. Like I said, Planning Commission has recommended that this certified survey map be approved.
Mr. Holt.
I will make a motion to approve a first reading of proposed ordinance number 2024-03, an ordinance amending the official zoning map of the city of Rhinelander and waiving the second reading.
Luter, second.
Okay, you got a motion and a second. Mr. Anderson?
Yeah, all the lot numbers are listed and spelled out on the map, but in some of the backup material, it refers to lot RH 1203, which doesn't belong in there, and it's not in the ordinance, so as long as we understand that it doesn't belong there, that's okay. It's a lot across Door Street from the rest of this, so it's not even on the map, or barely on the map. So the ordinance does not include it, so I'm not saying we need to amend it, but
But the ordinance does not include that lot, right?
right.
Okay, so then there's no, okay.
Yeah.
So it's fine the way it's written.
Okay. Any other discussion? Not seeing, clerk, please take the roll call.
Gerald Anderson.
Aye.
Stephen Jopek.
Aye.
Luke Kramer.
Aye.
Carrie Mikulowski.
Aye.
Bob Luter.
Aye.
Thomas Barnett.
Aye.
David Holt.
Aye.
Leanne Felton.
Aye. Motion passes. Moving on to 11, which is also 3 in your agenda, which is unfinished business from previous meeting, none apply. Moving on to 12, which is introduction of new business. 12A, discuss and/or action approving bills and claims for $3.3 million.
Holt, I'll make a motion to pay the bills and claims in the amount of $3,314,328.88.
Mikulowski, second.
Motion second, any discussion? Not seeing, clerk, please take the roll call.
Leanne Felton.
Aye.
Bob Luter.
Aye.
Luke Kramer.
Aye.
Thomas Barnett.
Aye.
Gerald Anderson. Carrie McKelowski.
Aye.
Stephen Jopek.
Aye.
David Holt.
Aye.
Motion passes. Moving on to 12B, discuss and/or action, Resolution 2024-46 regarding insurance claim. I refer to our city administrator.
Sure, thank you, Mayor. So the first one, there's two insurance claims here. The first one is, it was a slip and fall accident at the Crescent School. And so the clerk received a notice that we were being included in on the investigation there of whether we were at fault. Well, of course, we're not at fault because the Crescent School isn't ours and it's not in the city. So what we do is when we get these, Austin will have them fill out a report, get all the information. We send it over to the insurance company, just like you would with your car insurance. So they do an investigation, our insurance company does, and then they tell us what they need us to do. In this case, for this one, they said to deny this claim. So obviously it isn't in the city and it's not city property. So pretty cut and dry.
Jopek, motion to approve resolution number 2024-46, approving a notice of disallowance regarding insurance claim. Yeah.
Hold second.
Motion second. Any discussion? Not seeing, clerk, please take the roll call.
Luke Kramer.
Aye.
David Holt.
Aye.
Bob Luter.
Aye.
Stephen Jopek.
Aye.
Thomas Barnett.
Aye.
Gerald Anderson. Leanne Felton.
Aye.
Carrie McKelowski.
Aye.
Motion passes. Moving on to 12C, discuss and/or action, proposed resolution 2024-47 regarding an insurance claim.
And this is the second one. So this was if you remember back in early April, we had a nice snowstorm come through. Somebody was driving during that snowstorm, hit a curb. Did the same process. Austin got the information from the people, filled out a report, brought it to the insurance company. The insurance company basically said that it was in the middle of a snowstorm. Stuff happens in the middle of a snowstorm. We can't be everywhere. So again, they recommend denying this claim.
Jopek, motion to approve resolution number 2024-47, approving a notice of disallowance regarding insurance claim as read.
Hold second.
Motion second. Any discussion on the motion? Not seeing, clerk, please take the roll call.
David Holt.
Aye.
Stephen Jopek.
Aye.
Luke Kramer.
Aye.
Carrie McKelowski.
Aye.
Gerald Anderson. Thomas Barnett.
Aye.
Bob Luter.
Aye.
Leanne Felton.
Aye.
Motion passes. Moving on to 12D, discuss and/or action of proposed resolution 2024-48. This is regarding a local grant we received, LRIP, for the resurfacing of Pelican Street for $25,000. So we're just looking for approval to accept free grant money.
Kramer will approve the proposed resolution 2024-48.
Hold second.
Motion second. Any discussion? Not seeing. Clerk, please take the roll call.
Thomas Barnett.
Aye.
Leanne Felton.
Aye.
Carrie McKelowski.
Aye.
Bob Luter.
Aye.
Gerald Anderson. David Holt.
Aye.
Luke Kramer.
Aye.
Stephen Jopek.
Aye.
Motion passes. Moving on to 12E, discuss and/or action, proposed resolution 2024-49. This is approving an agreement between the City of Rhinelander and the United States Department of Agriculture. I refer to our city administrator.
Sure. So what this is the fire department provides fire suppression services to the USDA research forest research station outside of town. Brian, I don't know if you want to speak to any of this. It's something we've been doing for years. So this is just one more year. This amendment adds another year to the contract.
Jopek. Nope.
No. All right. We'll make a motion to approve proposed resolution 2024-49, approving an amendment to the agreement between the City of Rhinelander and the United States Department of Agriculture for the provision of fire suppression services.
Jopek, second.
Motion second. Any discussion? Not seeing. Clerk, please take the roll call.
Carrie McKelowski.
Aye.
David Holt.
Aye.
Luke Kramer.
Aye.
Stephen Jopek.
Aye.
Gerald Anderson. Thomas Barnett.
Aye.
Leanne Felton.
Aye.
Bob Luter.
Aye. Motion passes. Moving on to 12F, discuss and/or action, proposed resolution 2024-50 regarding a policy for selling of city-owned land. Refer to our city administrator.
Sure. So made a slight correction to it. It's on your, there's no substantive change. It's just kind of the order of things. So basically what this says is, and it's sitting at your dais, at your spotted dais. So basically what this says is that when we've sold land in the past, it seems like we've done it in various ways, and the rhyme or reason can't always be found. Somebody likes rhyme and reason. So what this does is this basically says, if this is a buildable lot based on its zoning, we're going to have it appraised, and we're going to bid it out. If it's smaller than that, we don't have to do that. And council can waive this if they so choose, if it's in the best interest of the city. Basically, that's what it says. I think that we should be getting maximum value for the property that we're selling. We have things that costs we need to cover as well. So,
Mr. Anderson.
I move adoption of Resolution 2024-50, approving a land sale policy for the city.
Mikulowski, second.
Okay. Motion and second. Any other discussion? The only question I have for you, Patrick, for this clarification, is what would trigger, if it's one we're actually taking out to bid? Is that based on the council's discretion to put the land up for sale? Or is that based on?
That would be the way to go about it. Hey, look, we've had interest, or we have this excess property and we're looking to sell it. We're going to follow the policy. Now, council can say, yeah, go ahead, follow the policy, get the appraisal done, put it out for bid for 30 days, great. Or they can say, no, we're going to waive it, and we're going to sell it as we see fit.
Mr. Anderson?
Do we have any plan of examining city-owned properties to see if we should sell them, or does it mostly depend on somebody asking about it?
It's usually the latter. It's usually somebody coming out and saying, hey, I've got this piece of property next to me. I know the city owns it. Can I buy it? Generally, you'll find them here and there. They tend to pop up. I know we do understand that we have land. I'm not a big fan personally of holding onto a bunch of land unless you got a plan for it. So we can always take a look at that, but I'd be lying if I said I'm going to be able to get to it next week.
Okay, we got a motion and a second. I'm not seeing any other discussion. Clerk, please take the roll call.
Gerald Anderson.
Aye.
Stephen Jopek.
Aye.
Luke Kramer.
Aye.
Carrie Mikulowski.
Aye.
Bob Luter.
Aye.
Thomas Barnett.
Aye.
David Holt.
Aye.
Leanne Felton.
Aye. Okay, motion passes. Moving on to 12G, discuss and/or action proposed resolution 2024-51. This is approving amendment to pretty much our trash pickup service with Republic Service.
Yep. And what this is for Settlers Village. Chief Tanakor has been working with the folks over at Settlers Village. As you probably know, if you have a single-family home or a multi-family home, you get trash service, part of your taxes. Well, so everybody got a roll-off cart over at Settlers Village, and it made it, because they are separate, they're two-family dwellings, and it made it a mess. And we've got lots of complaints on it, lots of issue with it. And so what Brian has done is worked with the folks at Settlers Village to get some dumpsters in there. That's basically what it is. This allows for dumpsters. Thank you, Brian. Good work.
Holt, I'll make a motion to approve proposed resolution 2024-51, approving an amendment to the agreement between the City of Rhinelander and Republic Services.
Felton, second.
Motion second. Mr. Anderson for discussion.
It looks like we're going to be getting more of these kind of structures in the city, and I wonder if there isn't some general thing we ought to be doing to either redefine what's an apartment or redefine the terms of our contract with Republic. If it looks like an apartment and acts like an apartment, why don't we call it an apartment?
Well, this is a unique scenario because those are approved with 0 lot lines. which aren't really common. So that went through the planning process, so.
I see that for the old hospital property, they're suggesting they may do that also, so it will come up again.
So, Mr. Kramer?
My question is, who's going to be covering the cost of the dumpsters? Is it going to be the city? Is it going to be the management for Settlers Village? Is it going to be broken down to each one of the residents?
No, this is on the property owner, and then they receive it back through their cost of the rentals, I believe. I'm assuming that they probably pass it on.
I would think so.
Okay. Not seeing any other discussion. Clerk, please take the roll call.
Leanne Felton.
Aye.
Bob Luter.
Aye.
Luke Kramer.
Aye.
Thomas Barnett.
Aye.
Gerald Anderson. Carrie Mikulowski.
Aye.
Stephen Jopek.
Aye.
David Holt.
Aye.
Motion passes. Moving on to H, discuss and/or action proposed resolution 2024-52. Looks like it's an agreement between the City of Rhinelander and the National League of Cities. Refer to our city administrator.
So I'd actually refer to Ms. Mikulowski actually on this because she seems to be much more versed in it than I am. But basically, this is an agreement to receive funds for the One Nation, One Project project.
Yeah, this is just another contract. They've been signed before. It's just to release the $10,000 for this year that they're offering us.
I'll make a motion to approve proposed resolution 2024-52, approving, authorizing, and directing the mayor to sign a memorandum of understanding between the City of Rhinelander and the National League of Cities for the acceptance of One Nation, One Project community funds in the amount of $10,000.
Mikulowski, second.
Motion second. Mr. Anderson for discussion.
I'm all in favor of getting grants. I just need to be refreshed on what this One Nation, One Project is.
Yeah, you're more versed.
Gerald, this is the group that is affiliated with the City Art Start and the healthcare within the city in order to improve the community's health as it relates to like social isolation and stuff. This is the group that's going to be doing the art installation down at Odag Park, and it's also the group that's spearheading the skate park.
Thank you.
Okay. Any other discussion? Not seeing. Clerk, please take the roll call.
Luke Kramer.
Aye.
David Holt.
Aye.
Bob Luter.
Aye.
Stephen Jopek.
Aye.
Thomas Barnett.
Aye.
Gerald Anderson.
Aye.
Leanne Felton.
Aye.
Carrie Mikulowski.
Aye.
Motion passes. Moving on to I, discuss and/or action of proposed resolution 2024-53. This is regarding a speed limit study we have done on Timber Drive. I don't know if Chief wants to talk about, Chief Guthier.
This project started back in November when some the residents on the eastern part of Timber Drive came forward with concern about speed. We have gone through the study. You should have that part of your packet. It's quite interesting. I think the most important information you'll see is on page 3, where they really dive into and just explain that they use different factors when they're calculating speed. They use the Wisconsin DOT speed management guidelines and other things. And ideally, what they noticed was that area has greatly changed over the years since the speed limit was set at 35 years ago. As a matter of fact, they were only there for 4 days. They posted their material, their data collection items there for 4 days, end of February to first part of March. And in that time period, and that time of year, although it was technically winter, although we didn't really have a winter, they saw multiple people biking, multiple people pedestrianing, which is a concern for them. The safety is safety with not only, they mentioned in the report, the high school, the middle school, they also failed to also include the YMCA. And now with the project that changed to put a bike path there where it crosses Timber Drive now, not at a single intersection, but at Woodland Heights Drive. So all those factors they took into consideration, and ideally they said a 30-mile-an-hour speed limit sign would be appropriate, but within the guidelines, 5 miles either way is also acceptable. So they do agree with it being changed to 25 miles per hour, which is the speed limit of all city streets. I would not want to do a 30. It just makes enforcing more confusing. It's a city street, it should be 25 miles per hour.
Joe Peck moved to approve resolution number 2024-53, approving a speed limit of 25 miles per hour from State Highway 17 to Iverson Street on Timber Drive.
Luder second. Motion second. Any discussion? Mr. Anderson?
Okay, we have this study which says that 30 is a suitable speed. We can go lower, we can go higher, but why do we want to go higher, lower? I mean, our city has too low speed limits already, almost everywhere, and I think 30 would be certainly adequate for that kind of road in that kind of situation. So I'd like to move an amendment to make it 30 instead of 25.
Okay, there's a motion. Is there a second? No second, so the amendment dies. Mr. Holt?
Yeah, I appreciated Lloyd's explanation of making it 25 to be consistent with the rest of the speed limits in town, and the fact that enforcing a 30 would be problematic. I don't remember your exact word, but yeah.
Mr. Joe Peck?
I'm going to concur with what Councilperson Holt said, but also just looking at the speed data on the 234 on page 4 of that packet, kind of talks about how the average speed is 35, which matches the current posted rate there, and I think the goal is to get that down to 30 or below. I think 25 would get that hopefully averaged where, and I think that's where the chief is at as well. So I think 25 is suitable. People will end up going 30, and that will hit the average that we're hoping to reach to.
One of the drawbacks of fixing potholes in roads is people tend to drive faster, so. Any other discussion? Mr. Kramer?
One question for the chief, sorry. Will there be like a leeway for people that aren't aware of the change of speed limit? Are you going to just issue warnings right away, or will it be?
Yeah, we would work with Public Works to get it reposted and put some stuff on our Facebook, maybe contact media. Yeah, we'd issue warnings to just make people aware of the change. Maybe do a story with Channel 12 or something of that nature.
Okay.
Just, you know, it's ultimately, we can't be everywhere all the time, so people do speed. The roads are getting nicer, and I couldn't have put it any better than the mayor did. People are going to drive a lot faster. I just saw the complaint over the weekend of why is Thayer Street a raceway? It doesn't meet the Daytona 500 specs, so that's what's going to happen. We are related to speed, and it was also the speed, the portable or the solar radar sign should be up in the near future. That would help again in those entrance is to the city, Timber Drive, by the school, Woodland Drive, to help people identify their speed and be more conscious of their speed. People are going to be out moving around, and we want them to be safe doing that.
Mr. Anderson?
Yeah, where will that sign be on Timber?
The one on Timber will be located right around the area of Timber and Harvey Street, mid-block.
Oh, going that way?
Yep. Well, it'll be for traffic going westbound towards the school, because it wouldn't make sense to put it for vehicles turning off at Stevens to go eastbound. The school's right there, so we want people to slow down as they're coming into the school zone and be conscious of their speed. That's why we chose to put it on the north side for traffic going westbound towards the school.
so there wouldn't be anything out near 17 to tell people coming in, or to help remind them, I guess.
Certainly, if there's more funds available, I would love to put more of those up, but no, we do not have one there.
Just to be clear, you're talking about the radar.
Yes.
I think Mr. Anderson was talking about posting the speed limit sign.
No, I was talking about
Radar
the
too?
radars.
Okay, so.
So that ought to help, whatever the limit is.
True. Any other discussion? Not seeing. Clerk, please take the roll call.
David Holt.
Aye.
Stephen Jopek.
Aye.
Luke Kramer.
Aye.
Carrie Mikulowski.
Aye.
Gerald Anderson.
Nay.
Thomas Barnett.
Aye.
Bob Luter.
Aye.
Leanne Felton.
Aye.
Motion passes. Moving on to J, discuss and/or action proposed resolution 2024-54. This is change order number 1 for the 2023 Pelham Lift Station. If I'm not mistaken, this is the upgrading of the flanges on the pumps that was discussed when we accepted the bid.
This is the updating of the pumps themselves.
Pumps, okay.
Yeah. So how this project was bid was with ABS pumps. The city uses flight pumps exclusively, and city want to make that upgrade to the flight pumps. As a quick recap, the discussion in January was this project, Pelham Street Lift Station, is being 100% funded by Rural Development. So there's additional funding left over from the Oneida Street project. We had to bid this out. The bidding requirements with USDA is you cannot specify a specific piece of equipment. So when the city wants flight pumps, they could not specifically say flight pumps. They had to put all the specifications in there for flight pumps and hope the contractor would bid flight pumps. The pumps that were bid meet all the requirements, all the specifications in the bidding documents, but there were a different pump that the city likes to see. So this change has been approved by Rural Development. They will approve the change for this $32,000, and they'll pick up that portion as well. But as far as the bidding process itself, the city was not allowed to specifically spec flight pumps. That's why this change was necessary.
Mr. Anderson?
Remembering previous discussion, this addition will not bring that total up nearly as high as the second lowest bidder. Is that correct?
That's correct. I think even with this change order, you're $31,000 less than the second low bidder.
Jopek moved to approve resolution number 2024-54, approving change order number 1 from Town and Country Engineering for the 2023 Pelham Street Lift Station Upgrades Project in the amount of $32,522.
Hold second.
Motion second. Any discussion on the motion? Not seeing. Clerk, please take the roll call.
Thomas Barnett.
Aye.
Leanne Felton.
Aye.
Carrie Mikulowski.
Aye.
Bob Luter.
Aye.
Gerald Anderson.
Aye.
David Holt.
Aye.
Luke Kramer.
Aye.
Stephen Jopek.
Aye.
Motion passes. Moving on to K, discuss and/or action proposed resolution 2024-55, be change order number 5 to the Oneida Street Utility and Street Project for $423,448. Mark?
So again, this goes back to the Oneida Avenue project being under budget. So the construction budget, we're anticipating construction to be about $250,000 under budget. How funding works with Rural Development Safe Drinking Water, there's construction budget, there's engineering, there's bonding, there's legal fees, there's a bunch of stuff that's worked into the actual funding. We anticipate a lot of that to be under budget as well. So what we're looking at is an unused grant funding in the amount of about $500,000 to $575,000 when the project's complete. The Pelham Lift Station project is going to use about 250 of that, so 225 for construction, 25 for engineering. That leaves you about $250,000 to $325,000 of unused rural development grant funding. So the city looked at this as an opportunity to maximize the grants and get another block of work complete. Grant Street is the first street north of Lincoln off of Oneida, in between Oneida and Baird. That block has been on the city's capital improvement plan for as long as I've been here. So it's been on the docket to be replaced with the funding available. Not 100% of the funding, and we still have not gotten approval from rural development on exactly how much of that they're going to cover. But 75,000 of this 425 the city would have to pick up for the water, and we're hoping rural development would pick up the rest of it. So for a $425,000 project for a potential $75,000 cost is a great benefit to the city. So
Michalowski, I'll make a motion to approve resolution number 2024-55.
Hold second.
Motion second. Any discussion on the motion? Not seeing. Clerk, please take the roll call.
Carrie Michalowski.
Aye.
David Holt.
Aye.
Luke Kramer.
Aye.
Stephen Jopek.
Aye.
Gerald Anderson.
Aye.
Thomas Barnett.
Aye.
Leanne Felton.
Aye.
Bob Luter.
Aye.
Motion passes. Moving on to L, proposed resolution of number 2024-56. Looks like it's a pay application for the Oneida Street project for $103,810. Mark?
yeah, this is everything I covered in the presentation. The water main that went in crossing Courtney, storm sewer, some removals, and starting to work on the road on Courtney. So those are the bid items you're going to see in there, under Blackburn, under Conroe, and under Courtney. So the total work completed for this pay period, which ended April 26, was $109,000 and change, with 5% held in retainage. That makes the request of $103,810.12, which we recommend.
Michalowski, I'll make an order to approve resolution number 2024-56.
Hold second.
Motion second. Any discussion on the motion? Not seeing. Clerk, please take the roll call.
Gerald Anderson.
Aye.
Stephen Jopek.
Aye.
Luke Kramer.
Aye.
Carrie Michalowski.
Aye.
Bob Luter.
Aye.
Thomas Barnett.
Aye.
David Holt.
Aye.
Leanne Felton.
Aye.
Motion passes. Moving on to M, discuss and/or action, proposed resolution 2024-57 for a fee waiver for the 4th of July parade.
Holt, I'll make a motion to approve proposed resolution 2024-57, approving the fee waiver request for the Lions Club /DRI /Rhinelander Area Chamber of Commerce for the 2024 4th of July parade.
Kramer, second.
Motion second. Any discussion? Mr. Anderson?
I just, every time we do this, I get the feeling we're getting in deeper and deeper, and we have no idea. This is sort of like Mr. Barnett's request earlier. It would be nice if we had some total, let's say, of how much we waived in fees this year. The presenter earlier alluded to, apparently they do have entry fees for the parade. I assume they don't waive those for anybody. So they have a budget, you know, and why shouldn't organizations like that include the coverage for the city? There's a lot of work involved in blocking off that many streets and in cleaning up afterwards. And it's been beautiful to watch how well the city does it, cleaning up the mess from a parade. But that all takes a lot of money, and it's done on the weekend. I just think we need to be more careful about what we're waiving. And, you know, I understand the argument that this is a big deal for a lot of people in the community and out of the community, and we certainly want to support it. But at a time when we're still limited in what we can tax, in order to provide services, and we do a great job of providing services with what we have. It still seems like if we have the opportunity to collect from a user, we ought to.
Mr. Holt?
For clarification, this is waiving the application fee, correct? And I wanted clarification on how much that fee is. Is this a $25 fee?
No, this is for application fee and for barricades. It's $510 total.
Okay, 510 total.
Yeah.
Okay. I just wanted to get the clarification because sometimes the waiver is simply for the application fee and sometimes it's for more than just that. So it's valid to clarify and make sure that when each time we do this, we know the exact dollar amount we're doing.
Any other discussion? Ms. Anderson?
Just on the point about the application fee, every time there's an application, there's some work for the clerk's office at least, even if it doesn't extend to anything else. And I just don't see why we should waive the application fee, $25 for anybody.
Mr. Luter?
I'm one of the newest people on this board, and it's my understanding that we already have a policy in place that if we have a reoccurring event downtown, that we've already decided that we're going to be waiving those fees, such as the 4th of July parade, the St. Patrick's Day parade, some of the DRI events that I participate in, and others. We've already made that decision, so I mean, I appreciate what you're saying, but we've already kind of set the precedent that we're going to be waiving those fees for reoccurring events like that.
That was from the point of that passage moving forward. So we're not at the 1 year mark. So technically the 4th of July, since that was instated, that policy hasn't come up yet. So going in the future, if this is waived, hypothetically, going in the future, if there's no massive changes to the cost, it won't be coming to the board again, unless they change something drastically.
Understood.
Mm-hmm.
It's also my understanding that the excess funds that they have at the end of their budget are used for the 4th of July fireworks display. So if we're going to charge them the $525, that's money that we're not going to get, that's going to get put towards the fireworks. So in my opinion, it's kind of a wash.
Mr. Holt?
Yeah, those are accurate statements and a good point about the fact that they push any excess. They have a zero budget or balance at the end of the year, and so that's due diligence. So, and I mean I agree with that. Given what the 4th of July parade does, one clarification I would make, and you're correct. It's within a year. The parade route changing, one could argue, would be substantial to revisit that, but it may be. I'm not saying it is. Just for clarification, but I think Bob makes a really good point that any excess they have, so it is going to come back because the city also enters into a contract to pay for the fireworks display.
Okay. Well, not seeing any other discussion. Clerk, if you'd like to make the roll call.
Leanne Felton.
Aye.
Bob Luter.
Abstain.
Luke Kramer.
Aye.
Thomas Barnett.
Aye.
Gerald Anderson.
Nay.
Carrie McLowski.
Aye.
Stephen Jopek.
Aye.
David Holt.
Aye.
Motion passes to waive. Moving on to N, discuss and/or action proposed resolution 2024-58. This would be a fee waiver for the YMCA for an event on September 14th and 15th. I refer to our city administrator.
Sure. This is this is basically waiving, this one is waiving the application fee for an event called Clash of the Paddles. It's pickleball.
So just to piggyback off conversations earlier, they're looking to waive a $25 fee.
Yeah. Yes.
Jopak move to approve resolution number 2024-58, approving the fee waiver request from the YMCA of the Northwoods for the Clash of the Paddles event on September 14th and 15th.
Luder, second.
Motion second, any discussion? Mr. Anderson?
I'll reiterate, I don't think we should waive the application fee. And this just seems like a group that certainly can afford that.
Any other discussion? Not seeing. Clerk, can you please take the roll call?
Luke Kramer.
Aye.
David Holt.
Aye.
Bob Luder.
Aye.
Stephen Jopek.
Aye.
Thomas Barnett.
Aye.
Gerald Anderson.
Nay.
Leanne Felton.
Aye.
Carrie Mikulowski.
Aye.
Motion passes. Moving on to O, discuss and/or action proposed resolution 2024-59 regarding recommendations from the Planning Commission for a certified survey map. Refer to our city administrator.
Whereas the earlier one changed the zoning, this one changes the certified survey map for that same property we talked about earlier.
Kramer, make a motion to approve Resolution 2024-59, approving the recommendation for a plan commission to approve the certified survey map for Rhinelander investments.
Holton.
Motion a second. Any discussion? Not seeing. Clerk, please take the roll call.
David Holt.
Aye.
Stephen Jopek.
Aye.
Luke Kramer.
Aye.
Carrie Mikulowski.
Aye.
Gerald Anderson.
Aye.
Thomas Barnett.
Aye.
Bob Luder.
Aye.
Leanne Felton.
Aye.
Motion passes. Moving on to P, discuss and/or action proposed resolution 2024-60. These are some appointments to the election officials for the term 2024-2025. I refer to our city clerk.
These are just more wonderful folks who want to sign up to be poll workers, so we're always looking for more poll workers.
Barnett, I'll make a motion to pass resolution number 2024-60, appointment of election officials for the 2024-25 term.
Anderson, second.
Motion a second. Any discussion on the motion? Not seeing. Clerk, please take the roll call.
Thomas Barnett.
Aye.
Leanne Felton.
Aye.
Carrie Mikulowski.
Aye.
Bob Luder.
Aye.
Gerald Anderson.
Aye.
David Holt.
Aye.
Luke Kramer.
Abstain.
Stephen Jopek.
Aye.
Motion passes. Moving on to Q, discuss and/or action of transfer of RH 34-2 from our city attorney.
Yeah, we got the last piece of paper in today. Mariah brought it up to me, so we should have that done within a week or two.
Cool. Any questions or discussion by the council? Okay, not seeing. Moving on to R, discuss and/or action terrace rooming houses ordinance. So I know Planning Commission spoke about this at our last meeting. It wasn't heavily attended. We only had 4 commissioners there. So pretty much it's more letting them dissect it from their body point of view and then coming back to the next Planning Commission. This body could also make some decisions and/or recommendations to them to explore. So we're kind of at the beginning phase of the discussion of this topic. So, Ms. Mikulowski?
Has there been any discussion on having like a workshop so that community and us can talk about this sort of thing?
Yeah, we pretty much, we're at probably about the same point Planning Commission is at this point, so
Would it behoove us to do a workshop?
I think so.
I agree.
So, Mr. Anderson?
I just don't see any need to change what we're doing. It has not produced any problems that anybody has brought to our attention or the Planning Commission. And there is no reason whatsoever that we should adopt whatever Minocqua does. They have a totally different situation, and a lot of waterfront properties, maybe that makes a difference. This is something that's happening in the world around us. I would say this, trying to get rid of short-term rentals is kind of like communities that try to outlaw Lyft and Uber to benefit the local taxi company. it's going to go underground then. That's not really what we want. We want to have some control over the conditions, and we want to be collecting the room tax. And so what we're doing satisfies the needs of people who need that kind of rental and doesn't cause any problems. Why change anything?
Mr. Jopek?
Doing some preliminary searching as this came up last time when Mr. Caraba was here, kind of trying to see what the general procedure is, the principles. It seems like the consistency is that most communities have to establish what their objective is and whatever ordinance or conditions they do apply. In this case, I think it is best to be proactive in figuring out what do we want, what is our goal. Are we trying to are we wanting to be a harbor for more, or are we trying to protect single family housing? Like those kind of things. Those are all things that came up in my research. And so I guess I think where we step in at that point is we have to figure out what we think is best, and then of course within the state statute for conditional use policies. I do think that community members coming forward and raising concerns consistently is point for concern. If this is coming up now and this is the first time this has happened with an R1 house, I think we will see it more, and I think it is something we need to explore. I don't know how, I don't know exactly all of it, but I do think we need to figure out what principle we're going to follow for city governance in order to pass an ordinance that is enforceable and also meets the needs of the community and doesn't totally suffocate business entrepreneurship.
And this is just a clarification from Steve. Usually in a scenario like this, isn't it usually starts at planning commission to make a recommendation to this body, and then this body changes ordinances or policy based on A, their recommendation, and B, their beliefs?
Yeah, this is a zoning issue, this is a planning issue, this should start at planning, and planning should be making a recommendation. It's, if it becomes an enforcement issue, then that would be an issue for this body. So if this body wanted to enforce standards, that would be fine, but zoning and planning is where it should be at. That doesn't mean you couldn't have as was mentioned by Carrie, you couldn't have a public forum or a discussion, but yes, I would say that it would be backwards to start here and go there.
So, Mr. Holt?
Thank you. I agree with Mr. Jopek that having multiple community members bring this forward as an issue is enough evidence that it's something that we should discuss and consider modifying, at least reviewing. Agree that it starts at the Planning Commission. An additional comment I wanted to make was with regard to what other communities do, Monaco, Eagle River. I actually respectfully disagree. I think that there's a great value in having consistent policy with our neighbors, neighboring communities. In particular, the Northwoods is a hub for tourism, and Rhinelander is a hub for the Northwoods. And so for us to look at what other communities are doing and find the consistencies and find the rationale for why they've chosen to have their ordinance set the way it is, has great value. And then for the consistency of vacationers coming to this community, if you have a consistent policy in whatever it is across communities, you are not competing necessarily with those communities because it's the same conditions, it's the same standards. So I do think that that's worth looking at.
Mr. Barnett?
Yeah, I'll just piggyback off of Mr. Holt and Mr. Jopek. Totally agree 100% with them. Constituents coming forth with concerns and issues should never just be a brush off. We should listen to the actual concerns, whether we agree with them or not. isn't really doing our duty here as representatives of said constituents. With that being said, I actually was reading through this packet over the weekend, and I found some of the ordinances that they have in there to be quite acceptable, in my opinion, that we don't have with Minocqua and our neighboring communities. I would like to revisit how this ordinance is. I want to do a little more research into some of these ordinances that were presented to us from other areas. So I don't know, are we expecting an action tonight? Just discussion? I mean, we can always have action, yeah, but.
Yeah, so this was requested to be put on this agenda. Pretty much it was also requested to be put on planning. So due to the request, it was brought to this body. So it's kind of up to you guys how you want to proceed. I mean, my recommendation would be to get a recommendation from planning and possibly hold some kind of public meeting to get more input and go from there.
I would agree. Then I make a motion to get a recommendation from planning and provide a future workshop.
Second, Holt.
Motion second. Any discussion on the motion? Not seeing. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Those who oppose, abstain. Motion passes. Any other action regarding this topic? Okay, not seeing. Anything anyone would like to add to future agenda items? Mr. Jopek?
I'd like to add a future discussion about a crosswalk at Lincoln Street near Walmart. Once again, I drove down that road and there was a person trying to cross the road, and they run into the middle. They stand in the middle in the turn lane, and one of these days somebody is going to get hit there, and then we're all going to be asking ourselves some questions. And so, really think we need to talk about it. It's the second time in 2 weeks for me. And so, yes, please add that to the future agenda items.
Anything else for future agenda items? Okay, not seeing. Next regular council meeting will be held Tuesday, sorry, because it's a holiday, it's a Tuesday, May 28 at 6 p.m. With that, it is 7:13, meeting adjourned.